Funding for Stress-Free Cooking is brought to you by Cutco. Cutco has been making high-quality products in Olean, New York since 1949. Cutco's straight-edge blades are durable, flexible, and hold a razor-sharp edge. And by Melissa's. Established in 1984, Melissa's World Variety Produce is currently the largest distributor of specialty produce in the United States. You could depend on Melissa's for delivering great quality products in fruits and vegetables.
Hi, I'm Barbara Seelig-Brown. Welcome to Stress-Free Cooking. What I want you to do is come home from work, put on your bunny slippers, pour a glass of wine, and cook with me. Hi, I'm Barbara Seelig-Brown. Welcome to Stress-Free Cooking. Today I have a really great show planned for you. I've invited a good friend of mine who's the owner of the Italian Olive Oil of the Month Club, Jennifer Calippo, to join me. We're going to talk a lot about olive oil. So Jennifer, come on in. Nice to see you.
Hi.
Thank you for coming to play with me today.
Thank you for having me.
So of course, Jennifer, since you're on Stress-Free Cooking, we have to pour a little wine.
Perfect.
And put on our bunny slippers. Did you
Okay.
bring your bunny slippers?
Yes.
Good. Okay, so put on your bunny slippers, pour a glass of wine, and join us. Cheers. Jennifer, I'd love to hear how you and your hubby got started in this business.
So my husband and his partners started the business. They're all from Italy, from Calabria, and they started the business out of their love for olive oil and food and culture. And we started it because we wanted to bring the highest quality olive oils and superior category olive oils to the US and to your door.
That's
so we
great.
started the Italian Olive Oil of the Month Club.
Is it hard to import olive oil?
No, it's not so hard.
Oh, good. Okay.
It's hard to find producers that
That you're satisfied with?
yeah, so we have a very rigid selection of our olive oils, and we go through, a very rigid process.
So it's the Italian Olive Oil of the Month Club. And how many oils per month are you recommending?
Okay, so the way it works is every month you receive a different olive oil from a different region of Italy. So one month it's Puglia, one month it's Sicily, one month it's Tuscany. So you really are taking a tour throughout Italy and throughout the different varietals of.
And through that experience of getting a different oil every month, you learn the different nuances.
Exactly.
So, for instance, in the north, they're a little bit lighter, correct?
Depending on the varietal. It really depends on the varietal and the way that it's made. So, we really want our customers to be connoisseurs like us and be able to, like with wine, be able to pair different olive oils with different foods.
Great. And, I think the one thing that I get asked the most often is a good olive oil judged by its color?
No,
No.
no.
So it's based on?
It's based on, there's panel tests that are done. So the levels of acidity, the levels of polyphenols, and then the flavor really, depends on your palate, what you prefer.
But color is indicative of the varietal, not the quality. That's
Exactly.
what
So
I
there's
think people
different-
need to
I mean, of course, if
understand.
it's brown, we're not going to
if
want
it's
to
brown.
drink that.
And how do
But
you recommend storing your olive oil?
Definitely in a cool, dry place in a dark bottle.
And not in the refrigerator, though, because then it changes the temperature too
No,
much
not
when
in-
you bring it to room temperature.
Right, not
Yeah.
in the refrigerator. So, very cool.
So
like
just
under
out of the
cabinet.
sun, not over on the shelf over the stove.
Definitely
not
not,
in the
no.
sunny window, no matter how pretty it's going to look in the sunny window.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
A pantry closet
Is
is the
good.
best place,
All
or a
right.
basement.
Well, are we ready to taste?
Yes,
So
let's
you'll have to
taste.
tell me what you brought.
Okay, so I brought 4 different olive oils, and we'll taste 3 of them. We have this one first from Tuscany. This is an organic Franchi Bio from Frantoio Franchi. It's their organic olive oil. So we'll taste this one first.
Okay. And the proper way to taste it is we have our nice little cordial glasses out.
Yes, and a professional taster, like on a panel testing, they will taste it in a blue glass, so you cannot see the color, because they don't want the color to
Oh, I should have gotten the green
change
glasses
your-
from Venice then.
right, or
And then
blue.
but I think actually it's better for our viewers to see
Exactly,
the color.
for the show, and that's why I
Right.
didn't bring blue ones. So we'll just pour about a teaspoon of olive oil. in your glass and mine.
Oh, it's a very pretty color.
So the first thing is, your first sense is to
Look at the color.
look at the color.
It's gorgeous.
Okay, and then swirl it around
Like wine.
like wine, and then cover it with your hands because we want it to get to room temperature. So this was in my car. It's a little bit cooler than it should be, so we want to warm it up with our hands, swish it around. So
Which is what you don't want to do with wine.
exactly,
Right.
you want the oxygen to break up the flavors. So when you now smell it
Oh.
and take a deep breath in,
I
and
can almost
smell.
taste it actually. There's that little bit of sort of spiciness already.
Exactly. So you can taste like artichokes, fresh cut grass, chicory.
This definitely has grass.
Right. And then we're
taste?
going to taste it and breathe in and kind of suck in air as well when you go. So
How long should people keep their olive oil?
okay. So another thing to look for on your olive oil is the information that the producer gives you. It will give you an expiration date of 2 years after the harvest. We all know that olive oil is only made once a year. So if it says 2011, it's being sold in 2012, okay? Because it's made in October, November of 2011, and it's
Okay,
sold in
so
the
then they
following
sell
year.
it.
So you should use your olive oil within the first year.
Within the first
The
year.
second
That's
year,
what I always thought.
you should use it for like heavier cooking.
Okay.
Because it's not expired, it's still fine.
But the flavors have changed.
the flavors have changed.
So don't buy enough olive oil to leave to your grandchildren.
Exactly.
Yeah, keep it fresh every year.
Exactly.
Great. Okay, now let's try the next one.
Okay, so the next one is choline teotine from La Salvolta. That is the producer, and it's from Vasto Abruzzo.
So in Abruzzo, more in the south.
Yes, it's across from Rome. And this particular olive oil is a medium intense fruity. So
And the color's a little bit lighter,
slightly lighter.
but still beautiful golden. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna swirl.
We're gonna swirl, and then we're gonna just cover it
Cover
with
it.
our hands for a few minutes, just to warm it up, and then we're gonna slurp. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, it smells good. That was even more buttery.
So buttery,
Yes, and a little more acidic, I think.
and then the back of the tongue, do you feel?
Yes, that cloying.
It's getting a little bit spicier.
Yeah.
Okay, so this olive oil is great for cooking as well as finishing. So like meats, pastas, you could also use it for salads.
Right. Oh, great. So that really is pretty versatile.
Very versatile.
Very versatile.
The first one being, great for vegetables.
Yes,
because it has
something
that
lighter.
lighter and has very artichoke and grassy vegetable
Right, so
notes.
it's more complementary. It's
Right.
kind of like wine. You want to pair those flavors.
Exactly.
Great. Well, that was wonderful. So one more.
Okay, and the last one is Fam, and this is from Irpinia, which is in Avellino, right outside of
Naples, right.
And this would be an intense fruity olive oil, okay? So fruity also means spicy. So I'll pour this for you. This just won first place in the 2011 fruity category in the Flo Sol Awards, as well as
And this one's just
Slow food.
slightly, a little
Darker.
bit darker.
Yeah.
Maybe a little, I don't want to say cloudy, but less glistening than that is.
yes, and this is a monocultivar olive oil. So there's only one type of olive, which is Raveche.
Oh.
Okay, so we're gonna
So we'll
cover.
warm this up.
Yes, and it's also a DOP.
And DOP,
Actually,
we
these-
should explain DOP.
These all three of these are DOP olive oils. So that's something, to look for, but not necessarily.
necessarily have.
Right, and with wine, DOC, DOP is denomination of protected
And it
by
just means that
origin.
it's made in accordance with the local government rules to keep it authentic and keep the quality.
Exactly. Okay.
Oh, it smells good. Yes, I see what
So
you
much
mean.
fruitier,
Much
more
fruitier
green.
and much spicier, as you say, right on the front of the
Right.
tongue. Well, I thought the first thing we'd cook today was a traditional dish, veal milanese.
Okay.
So which oil would you like me to saute the veal in?
I would say the La Salvolta, which is very versatile.
Okay, great. Well, let's clean up and we'll come right back and we're gonna make a nice veal milanese.
Okay.
So Jennifer, let's talk a little bit about veal milanese. Such a classic dish and something quick and easy to make and very stress-free, right?
Yes.
So we have some really nice scallopini from the leg of the veal, but we want to pound this a little bit just to make sure that it's an even thickness.
Okay.
So I have a sheet of parchment paper here, which is a great way to pound. You could also use a Ziploc bag or a plastic bag. So we'll put one piece of our veal in on the parchment paper, fold it in half, and then I'm gonna take a flat meat pounder, no spikes because we don't wanna pierce the meat. We'll just give this a few whacks. Okay, so just to make sure it's nice and even thickness, and I have 4 to do. Would you like to do one?
Sure.
Why
I can use a
not?
bottle of olive oil
You could
also.
Oh yeah, there you go. I wouldn't want to take the chance that it broke.
Right.
So here you go. So we're
Okay.
gonna start in the center and push away. A little harder.
Get out all my frustration.
Get all your frustrations out. So the next part of this dish is we need some eggs.
Okay.
Okay. And I have some Italian seasoned breadcrumbs here. I'm gonna add some Parmesan cheese. And sometimes I put in Italian seasoning if I really want it to be nice and spicy.
Okay.
And a little salt and pepper. And this is actually a little bowl. I've been combining my salt and pepper so that it's 1 step instead of 2.
What a great idea.
Yeah, it's a nice little shortcut. So if you freshly grind some pepper, put it in a little bowl, and just add salt. I usually do about half and half, but you can do whatever proportion you like.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm just gonna mix this together. And if you would crack those eggs and put them in this pie
Sure.
plate for
Love to.
us. And there's a whisk for you.
Okay.
So we're gonna scramble those eggs, okay? And when you're cooking, you generally wanna purchase large eggs. Even if a recipe doesn't say large eggs, it's sort of understood that the eggs that you're using for cooking are large eggs. If they don't want you to use large eggs, it will actually specify that as opposed to using large. Okay, so we'll scramble those eggs. And since we've seasoned the breadcrumbs, I'm not so sure we really need to worry about seasoning the eggs. But
Okay.
that looks great. One more. Get that last egg in there. Okay. Thank you.
Good.
All right, I'm going to take that over here. So I'll
Okay.
do the dirty work. Let you stay nice and clean.
Okay.
Okay. But I would like you to pick an oil for me to saute my veal in.
Okay, so why don't we use the choline Teotihuacan, which
Okay.
was the second olive oil that we tasted, which is a very versatile, slightly spicy,
Okay.
medium to intense fruity.
So we'll cover the bottom of the pan with this. And I know some people are always afraid to use their good olive oils for sauteing.
I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of people think that you shouldn't saute with olive oil,
Right.
you shouldn't fry, but if you go into any household in Italy, they are only
That's
using
all they use,
they're
right?
only using extra virgin olive oil. So you should really use the best quality olive oil that you can afford for all of your cookings, and then it just depends on what you're cooking. Depends on the flavor.
Or I always tell people to choose their olive oil like they choose wine because
Exactly.
wines have certain flavor nuances that you like, as do your olive oil. So maybe someone else wouldn't like a spicy olive oil. I happen to like them pretty spicy myself.
Exactly, and if you want to taste that little bit of olivey flavor, then you should pick something a little bit stronger.
Alrighty, so we dip our veal in the egg, and then we dip it in the breadcrumbs that we've seasoned. And I also like to do this early in the day because I feel the coating sticks a little better if you
Absolutely.
do it early in the day. And just put it on a cookie sheet, put it in the fridge. And this dish cooks very quickly. I actually have the heat turned down because I'm talking and doing too many things at once.
Right.
But if I
Don't want it to
was,
burn.
well, I think I need a splash more oil in there.
Do you want me to drizzle?
Sure, that would be great.
Okay.
If I was doing this without talking, I would have it on high heat and it would crisp up right away.
Right.
So let's give that oil a chance to heat up. And then we'll pop this one in there. And this dish is classically served with a mixed green salad called a tre colori salad. So we're gonna make a mixed green salad, and I'm gonna depend on Jennifer to recommend one of her oils for the salad. But before we make the salad, I just have to clean up a little bit. So would you keep your eye on that
Sure.
veal for me?
Sure.
Jennifer, the veal looks like it's cooking perfectly. So let's turn this over. And And then while this is cooking, let's work on our salad.
Okay.
Alrighty, so I'm gonna turn that, and we're gonna just turn this down a little smidge so we don't overcook it while we're doing the salad. So I have a bowl for our dressing, and we have some nice greens here. So I have a nice mixture of greens. You want a variety. We have arugula, we have some red leaf lettuce, some green leaf lettuce.
Okay.
So just something really simple, because we want to, I love the cold of the salad and the hot crispy of the veal together. Don't you think that's a great
Perfect
combination?
on top of each other.
Which olive oil would you like me to use for the salad dressing?
I would recommend the Frantoia Franchi Bio because it's very green and grassy.
Well, before you put that in there, let's get some vinegar in there. And I think I'm going to use a white wine vinegar for this. Okay. So we'll put a little bit of vinegar in there, nice and sweet. And I'll let you add the oil, okay, and I'll whisk. And maybe just like a half a spoon of the salt and pepper mixture. I like to make my dressings from scratch. I never buy a bottled dressing. That's good. I don't know how anybody can survive on bottled dressing, especially, look how easy this is.
So easy.
And how delicious it's going to be.
Without all the chemicals.
Plus, the other thing I like to mention is that we want to start with less dressing than we think we're going to need, because we can always add more, but you can't take it away. And there's nothing worse than having all this wonderful olive oil just sitting in the bottom of the bowl.
Right, and getting soggy.
So while I'm dressing the salad, could you talk to us a little bit about the health benefits of extra virgin olive oil?
Sure. I mean, the main purpose that we try to convey to our clients is that you should use olive oil every day, lunch, dinner, and even breakfast, before breakfast. If you start your day with a teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil on an empty stomach, before anything has gone into your stomach, you will actually coat your stomach and prepare it for the day's worth of food. And the antioxidants, which come from the polyphenols, have anti-cancer benefits. We talk about in our newsletter this month about breast cancer. The studies have shown.
Yes, your newsletter is great.
Yeah,
What's the address for your newsletter?
gourmetcookingandliving.com and then sign up for the newsletter.
Definitely sign up for that newsletter.
Yeah, so I mean, we try to incorporate health benefits every month in our newsletter because olive oil is so healthy for you.
You did a really nice job with the breast cancer.
Thank you. So, you know, they just did a study that was just released, and women that use olive oil on a regular basis, specifically in Mediterranean countries, had a 50% lower chance of having breast cancer, of getting breast cancer.
That is great news. So Jennifer, I think we're almost ready to taste, but I bet you want to do one more thing.
Yes, why don't we finish the plate with this fruity olive oil, the femme, because it has kind of a spicy finish, so it's great for finishing over this dish or as well as like pastas, risottos, anything hot.
I love when I make risotto and I have a really good oil to finish with. That adds so much, especially on something warm, and it just warms that olive oil up like we were doing with our hands.
Exactly.
Great, well let's taste.
Okay.
Because I can't wait to taste
exciting.
this oil again. It was well worth cooking just to be able to taste this oil again. So a little salad and a little of the veal.
What a treat. Thank you, Barbara.
Oh, thanks for coming. I love the finishing. The finishing actually completely changes this dish.
Exactly. So you're really getting that raw olive oil.
Yes, it really
on top of your
finishes the dish. Thank you so much for joining me for this. When we return, Jennifer and I are going to be talking about baking with olive oil. Jennifer, I would like to take advantage of you one more time before I let you go. And I'd like to talk about the flavored olive oils because I thought we would make a blood orange olive oil cake.
Oh,
but before we do that, I'd like to talk about flavored olive oils. And I know you brought one with you. So what did you bring in?
Okay, I brought this orange flavored olive oil from La Salvolta, which is the second olive oil, the same producer that we tasted earlier. And this particular producer, what makes it so special is they don't use anything artificial. So they actually crush and press the oranges with the olives, and then they slowly let it extract. The olive oil is extracted, and then it kind of is left to marinate for a couple of months, so all of the flavors from the orange go into the olive oil.
So olives and oranges go into the press. And then it sits and macerates.
Yep.
And then they let the olive oil strain, I guess, from those.
It's extracted,
Yeah.
and then it's marinated in the bottle. So
Oh, wonderful.
It sits for a little bit longer before they sell it.
I can't wait to taste.
The smell is amazing. It's great for poultry, salads, and baking, if you love that orange flavor.
I do love the flavor of orange, especially blood oranges, which are hard to find.
Very hard to find.
And they're very seasonal from Italy as well.
From Sicily, right?
Okay,
So
we
again, we're gonna
swirl.
smell this one.
Oh, that orange flavor is wonderful.
So you don't smell any chemicals. There's
No
nothing
chemicals.
artificial
Well, there's
about
nothing
this.
artificial in
it's
here.
just
So
lemons
how could
and
we
oranges.
smell anything?
Right. So it's just really straightforward. So again, we can warm
We
it
can
up
taste?
a bit, and then we can taste it. And
Oh, it's creamy and orangey. What a nice combination.
it'd be great for your cake.
Yes, great. Okay. So I have some blood oranges.
Okay.
So let's juice these oranges.
Okay.
And we have a bowl with a strainer so that we can juice our oranges. I don't always keep every single gadget in the world in my kitchen. I like some of the old-fashioned things. So a fork, a strainer, and a bowl, and you just twist the orange around the fork. And you get, I think you get more juice this way, actually. And the strainer is going to catch the seeds. So I usually like to do this cake with 2 oranges, and it's about 1/3 to 1/2 cup of orange juice.
Okay.
Okay, so we need 1 more. And then we're going to add the flavored orange olive oil as well. So this is going to be a double orange flavored cake.
It smells delicious.
I also like to add salt to this cake because the salt sometimes brings out the sweetness of the oranges. You know, salt in
Oh, that's
baking brings
interesting.
out sweetness.
Okay.
And I like the salt flavor with the olive oil base. I think it's just a really good combination. So, that's good. Let's, oh, look at how beautiful that is.
gorgeous.
Is that color not gorgeous? Ugh. And this is also great if you can get enough of these oranges to make orange juice from them at home.
Or a salad.
Oh, they'd be great in a
With the
salad,
olive,
yes. All right, so our orange juice is ready. We have extra oranges. Let me crack these 2 eggs. When I crack eggs, I like to crack them on a flat surface and then just pry the shells apart, like so. So Jennifer, if you just lightly beat those eggs for me, that would be really helpful.
And the egg beater.
You're the egg
today.
beater. Okay, and then I'm just gonna remove my cutting board. We don't need this anymore. And you'll notice I have a damp paper towel underneath. It keeps my cutting board from sliding away.
Oh wow, what a great idea.
And here's my mixing bowl.
Okay.
So now everything just goes into the bowl. Let's start with the eggs. And then I'm gonna have you add the olive oil
Okay.
and the orange juice. So we'll mix the liquids together, okay? So our orange juice. And then if you would add the sugar, it'll help dissolve the sugar a little bit here. Okay, go ahead, just pour that right in there. Okay, great. All right, now I have a tablespoon of baking powder and the flour and a little bit of salt. So I'll add a pinch of salt. And a pinch is about 1/8 of a teaspoon. So really in this cake, I want about 1/2 a teaspoon. So that's 4 pinches. Okay, so a nice easy way to measure. And you can go ahead and add the flour.
Wow, this is like really simple.
Really easy. You don't
Really.
even have to get the mixer out, which is kind of
Really
nice. You know,
stress-free.
sometimes you don't really feel like getting the mixer out. Well, I keep
mess.
everything out on my kitchen counter, but I know so many people that love to put things away, and their kitchen counters are clear, but their kitchen is too sterile. You can tell there's not much cooking that goes
Right.
on. So, yeah, I think you need to have this stuff out. And I figure people know what I do, so when they come to my home, if I have a mixer and a food processor on the counter, I'm not at all worried.
Right.
And plus, I just love to cook for people. So, you know, having everything out in my kitchen, I think I can get away with it.
Absolutely.
So our cake is all mixed. The batter is really nice and rich. You have a little bit of orangey golden color in it. But since we are running out of time, we happen to have some little cakes baked already. And here we go.
Wow, those
So
are
we have
so
some
pretty.
beautiful little blood orange olive oil cakes made with our orange oil and fresh blood orange juice. Jennifer, I can't thank you enough for joining me today. I've learned so much. I'm sure my viewers have learned so much about olive oil
Thank
that
you for having us.
they never could have guessed. So Jennifer Calippo from the Italian Olive Oil of the Month Club, I hope you'll join me again soon.
Absolutely.
I'm Barbara Seelig-Brown. Thank you for watching Stress Free Cooking, and I look forward to seeing you again.
Funding for Stress-Free Cooking is brought to you by Cutco. Cutco has been making high-quality products in Olean, New York since 1949. Cutco's straight-edge blades are durable, flexible, and hold a razor-sharp edge. And by Melissa's. Established in 1984, Melissa's World Variety Produce is currently the largest distributor of specialty produce in the United States. You could depend on Melissa's for delivering great quality products in fruits and vegetables.
Enjoy Barbara Seelig-Brown's cookbook as she shows you how to make stress-free dishes in the comfort of your own home. Offer made by Stress Free Cooking for $19.95.